Welcome back to the Rancho Rust. Yes, I know I have a problem. This is an estate sale haul. This is 2 days worth. I went the first day and the final day when things were on sale. And let's take a look and see what I got. First up is this vintage Proto Tools 9989 toolbox. Made in Los Angeles. It has the Flying Lady logo, and I think this is from the 50s, maybe the 60s. Not 100% sure. But I have a similar box that has the same model number, but the flap doesn't fold from the top, it folds from the bottom, and then the lid lifts up. And I think I prefer this design. And I think what I'm going to do is just give this a light sanding and put some Penetrol on it and use it as a mobile box, because it's pretty compact, but as you can see, it holds a lot of tools, even though it's overflowing at the moment. We'll take a closer look at this in another video. But let's dig in and see what's inside here. I guess we'll start out with adjustable wrenches. The first up is a Klein adjustable spud wrench, model number 3239. It was made in Japan. I'm not sure how old this is. I didn't even know Klein had tools made in Japan at one point. Next up, a couple of 12-inch Protos. Well, the first one is branded P&C, which I think at this point would have been a subsidiary of Proto. I mean, all the markings on them otherwise are pretty much the same. This one has some welding on it. An old Dymalloy 10-inch, Blue Point 10-inch. Let's take a look at that. Snap-on Tools Corporation. And then we've got one made by Crescent. A Dymalloy made by Diamond. And then some of these that are similar to the 90s Craftsman clench wrenches. They have an adjustable jaw here. I always thought these were kind of gimmicky, but I've never used one, so I don't know. And this one is a particularly old one, I believe. It's a master wrench. I mean, the end on it has a square. And it was made by, I believe, Heller Brothers. We'll have to clean that up and take a closer look. And then this is a Fuller, made much later in Japan. Now let's take a look at the few Craftsman wrenches I got, mostly V-series, older ones. Here's a 3/4 Saltus wrench, has an owner's mark on it. Now all of these, I believe, predate 1970, because none of them have a model number stamped on them. And I think this one in particular is the oldest, though I could be wrong. And these two 11/16ths have different beam widths. This one, it looks newer, but I don't know if it's newer, but it's slightly thinner on the beam. And then these are VA series, I believe, made by Danaher in the 2000s. The elusive 6-point, still with the barcode sticker on it, which is kind of cool. And a 15/16ths, unused practically. And we use that on the farm quite a bit, so that's cool. And then these midget wrenches, which are ignition wrenches, but I believe these are from the 90s. They say made in USA, but there's no indication of that on the wrenches themselves. But look at that. Tools made in USA, pouch made in Taiwan. Nowadays, everything would be made in Taiwan, or the tools would be Taiwan, pouch in China. But that's it for the Craftsman wrenches. Now here's an assortment of various other brand wrenches I picked up, although I did miss one Craftsman in that last segment. This is an oldie, double box end, CI stamp, so I believe this was made by Fulton somewhere between 1930 and 45, I believe. This is the favorite wrench I picked up. It's a Plomb pebble finish. I still don't have a complete set of these pebble finish Plomb wrenches, and I love the old Plomb stuff. Here's a Black Hawk offset double box end. I've never seen one with the 3 lines on it before, but I don't run into a lot of older Blackhawk stuff. A couple more Protos. We use these all the time. Proto Saltus wrench with 6-point, which is pretty cool. I've never seen a Proto Saltus wrench, at least not at a yard sale. And a couple Kleins. Look at that line wrench. M. Klein & Sons, 13/16 an inch and a 16th. Now that is a beefy wrench. And then here's another one, 1/2 inch, satin finish, Klein. I'm not sure who made those. And a few SKs. We've got SK Electrolyte. And then we've got just SK Tools with a 6-point box, and then Electrolyte on one side, SK on the other, which I believe the Electrolyte SKs are older. Actually quite a few 6-point SK wrenches here. We have 3/8, 7/16, a couple 7/16. Both 6-point. One's a little bit shorter, a little bit different. I'm not sure what the time period is on those. Another SK. A couple, I think these are newer, 90s maybe. SK line wrenches. Nice chrome on those. And here's an older, it's just a Electrolyte, not even SK. It was a double box offset at some point, but it has been modified. And then this, which I believe was made by Electrolyte or SK, I'm not 100% sure. I know someone who has an artisan toolbox, but I've never encountered any of their hand tools. But it does have the same type of stamping that a lot of the older SKs have, so I'm not sure about that. And then we got a couple Williams, a Super Wrench, and a Vulcan 10 mil. An Easeco. I love these old Easecos with this little design on them. And then this, obviously, someone needed to make a custom wrench. But look at the beam on that. That is super cool. I am not sure who manufactured these. It just says chromium vanadium, so if anybody watching knows, please leave a comment, hit me up. I'd like to find more of these. A few Bonnie wrenches, line wrench. And this one, angled wrench with some flaking chrome. Bonnie Con, an old Vilcek and a Herbrand. Love that script. Here's an old Hinsdale early ratcheting wrench, and then a couple of Cornwells. I'm not sure how old these are, but they look to be fairly old. Satin finish, probably decent wrenches. And this is a super long pattern, 9/16, and probably because of the extra leverage. What's interesting is this wrench was not guaranteed. No warranty from Cornwell on that one. So I think that was a fairly good selection of random wrenches. I've got a few more to show you, so let's check those out. A few more various wrenches, a few Indestros here with the tool roll. Set number 1065. And this is missing a few wrenches, but I did notice this is an Indestro style, but it's stamped Westline. Has the same model number as this one, and these are forged in USA, Select steel, so I'm guessing these are Indestro Select, not Indestro Super. I don't know a lot about Indestro, but I do like this kind of pointed design on the wrenches. I don't feel like they're particularly great wrenches though, but they are neat. And here are some offset double box end ones. And here's an old Williams, 1/16. That is a heavy duty wrench. That's awesome. And then one more. This is a Proto. alignment wrench. 3/4. Don't really have much use for these, but it was cool and the price was right. So now we've taken a look at these wrenches, let's take a gander at sockets and ratchets.